Hey guys, it's Natalia, and welcome back to Unfiltered Fashion Talks. Today I have the lovely Isabel with us. I'm so excited to do this one. So, fun fact, we met over TikTok, I
Yep.
guess.
Like,
But we actually met in person like recently too, which is also super fun. You're like the first like social media friend I ever met in person, I think.
oh
So,
my gosh, I'm honored.
super exciting. Yeah, no, so fun. So just give us like a little intro of yourself. I don't know, whatever you want to put out.
An intro. Okay. Well, hello everybody. My name is Ysabel Hilado. I am a 23-year-old Filipino-American fashion designer, digital content creator, and I'm also a full-time student. So I
All the
pretty much
things.
do everything. So busy, but I love it. I'm more of a women's wear designer, so that's what I lean towards. And yeah, that's pretty much my
Yes,
little
we
elevator
love to
pitch.
see it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I feel like I've always have to ask everybody like the basic, like, how did you get into fashion? Even though obviously it's like a lifelong thing and everybody's always been into fashion if you're into it.
Of
Um,
course.
but give us like your like sewing journey. Like when did you start all the things?
Oh my gosh. Well, back when Tumblr was a huge thing.
We love that. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it was pretty big here in Southern California. I think especially among the Asian community. I don't know why, but it was. And so I was on Tumblr for a couple of years, and I remember I saw these pocket tees and they had like different prints and all that fun stuff. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Also, like, I'm in eighth grade. I'm like 13 years old. I want to make some money. I want to go to the mall. I live 5 minutes away from the mall with my friends. They want
Mhm.
to go to the movies. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can learn how to sew that. And then maybe I can sell it to like my friends, but also I can learn how to sew at the same time.
Right.
So I asked my dad. I was like, "Hey, my Lola, which is grandma in Filipino,
Mhm.
my Lola asked me. Oh no, my Lola has a sewing machine in like our shed, and so I asked my dad if he can take it out so I can kind of learn how to make some pocket tees. It's pretty much my dad showed me my first couple stitches. He set up the machine, and then the rest is pretty much history because I pretty much just taught myself how to sew since then. I ran that small little pocket tee business until maybe
Mhm.
my sophomore year of high school. But also
Dang.
at the time, yeah, it was like maybe about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to ship like domestically, some internationally, which
So
was pretty
cool.
cool. But I remember I just wasn't towards the end of it, I just wasn't feeling satisfied because I was like, okay, well, I want to learn how to make clothes.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sew things onto a pocket and like call
Yeah.
it a day. I actually want to learn how to sew. So I made a decision to stop that. And at the time, I was also fashion blogging because I thought I wanted to be a fashion journalist. And
Mhm.
I don't know, I never thought of being a fashion designer at the time. All I knew was like I wanted to sew and I also wanted to be a journalist. So
Right.
I continued all that blogging, did like I would like type out blogs about DIYs. Here's my outfit of the day. Oh my
Love
gosh.
that.
Back when blogging was such a huge thing.
Yeah, it was such
And
a thing.
it was amazing. And like I was also a cheerleader in high school. So yeah, it was kind of busy like doing all this
Yeah,
stuff. And so yeah, I would make all my dresses for all the events,
of course.
like prom, homecoming, all that stuff. And then let's see, junior year of high school, I got the opportunity to be on Project Runway Jr,
So
which was
freaking cool.
which was crazy. It came like really random. I was just checking my email one night, about to go to sleep because I had school the next day. And what's crazy is that like I filled out that application, but I didn't like submit it or anything. But the next
Mhm.
day I was at school, my dad was like, "Hey, like someone's trying to call me and like ask about a show." And I was like, "Wait, that's kind of weird because I didn't press submit." But whatever. I went along with it. And so the audition process was like maybe 3 months. And then I got in, they flew me and my mom to New York. I didn't last long, like 2 weeks, like 2 episodes. And
Still so
then,
cool.
yeah, it was still an amazing experience. But then I think that was the turning point for me where I was like, okay, I think I do want to do fashion design because
Mhm.
I can see that all these opportunities are out there if you kind of seek them
Right.
out. And so since I've graduated high school, I've just been doing small collections for like portfolio purposes, just so, for social media pretty much.
Of course.
My whole goal was pretty much just build my following and also just build my brand as well. So I finally graduate next year, May 2022.
Yes.
And so after that, I'll just be doing basically what I do, just full time and full speed.
I know. So exciting.
So I think I covered like some good bases.
Yeah. You do so much.
Oh my gosh. No, you do though.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But at least I'm not like a student anymore. Like I can't imagine doing everything plus being a student still. Like that's a whole thing.
I mean, how did you do it? When you were a student, were you doing anything else on the side?
I mean, I was doing YouTube, but I wasn't like being super like strict with it. I wasn't getting that much from it at the point. Like, cause I had like maybe, I think like 15,000 subscribers or something like that. Like my YouTube has grown a lot once I started my business, but it wasn't like a thing.
Where are you at now with YouTube?
I think I'm like 77,000 right now. So it's like grown a lot, but it's all been within the year, which is crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So I wasn't doing anything crazy while in school. Like you're doing like all the TikToks, the Instagram, everything. I could not imagine doing that while in school. Like I would have died.
Yeah, every week is kind of all over the place. Like I think I finally kind of found my groove once school started, which is like what like a month or two ago. But beforehand I was just like, okay, I'll do this today or I'll do this today. But then I learned the importance of having a routine, because I think I have 4 classes, and fashion classes, there's a lot to it,
There's a lot. Yeah.
I have to schedule my time every day, each week, just to see what I can do. But every day I always have to try to fit in some type of social media thing, because you know how it is, like it's hard to keep it up.
It is. It's so much to keep up with. If you're doing like video content, it takes forever to edit. Even like pictures, getting a good picture takes so freaking long.
Exactly. And then I have to set aside time to like go to my local sculpture garden here to take some photos. Like I don't know, like people don't think it's a job, but
it is a job. My God. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Especially with you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know how it is. You know exactly how it is.
Yeah, it's a full-time job, honestly. Like so much respect for social media managers, because it's a lot.
Gosh. Do you need one?
Honestly, yeah. But I also like can't imagine handing it off to anybody either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a weird thing of like, I just can't, like, it wouldn't be as personal anymore, or like as personable. Exactly. So I'm like, I can't give it to anybody, but like, I'm going to need to at some point, but like, oh.
No, I totally understand that, because my friends are like, yeah, why don't you like get an assistant or something? And I'm like, yeah, but like, that means, I don't know. I like the process of being able to post, and like I like to edit. I like to put everything together. Just handing it to someone would kind of be, I don't know, like you said, like not like personal anymore. Right.
I just like, I know. I'm like, I need to do it at some point, probably, at least with like my brand or like whatever. But even that, I'm like, my brand is my name, so I can't hand that off to anyone. Like I literally did this to myself.
Same. So I totally get it. Like that's not Ysabel Hilado.
Right. So I'm like, who is that? Like exactly. You can't do that.
Social media, man.
Yeah, it is something else. But you're killing it considering all the things.
Thank you. I mean, I try.
you succeed for sure. Okay, so after school, like once you graduate this year, which like thank God, so exciting.
It's been almost 6 years. Like,
yeah.
I'm tired.
I cannot imagine. I was tired after 2 years. Like I cannot imagine doing 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's like the goal or like the dream after school? That's a big question, but
it is a huge question. And I have my small little business planner here, and I'm a very I need a seat in front of me, so I like to write things down. And so I mean, I have maybe like a year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan's kind of iffy, because things change.
That's hard to I don't even have that either.
But like in the first year, I really just hope to accomplish like just being able to see people in my clothes. So I don't mind running
Yes.
this brand full time on my own,
Right.
like pretty much doing what you do. I
Right.
don't mind sewing everything, creating all the patterns, maybe even hiring a pattern maker because patterns are kind of difficult.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
currently working on because my God, even just like the pattern grading is what kills me. I'm like, I can pattern it to myself just fine, but
Yes,
like patterning to other sizes,
grading to other sizes scares me
yeah, it's so
because,
scary.
especially because since I want to see people in my other clothes, I want it to fit perfectly
Perfect.
too. Because I feel
Yeah.
like I'm a perfectionist and like I
Yep.
need them to be comfortable in it and whatnot.
Exactly.
But like with like running the whole brand, everything, I also just want to be able to still also continue social media because I feel
Hmm.
like that also helps build visibility to the brand.
Yeah.
Um, I think I also want to do like I think flea markets and like all that stuff is
Yes.
such a huge thing here. So
Yeah.
I definitely want to do some pop-ups in like the first year. I'm definitely going to start being like more of a what do you call it? I'm gonna do e-commerce first because
Yeah. Of course.
it's gonna be
It's
a lot
easier.
easier to handle, I would say.
Yeah.
But that first year is definitely gonna be a trial run because there's a lot of
Yeah.
random things that I'm going to have to figure out. But
Exactly.
right now, as I'm in school, I'm just still doing like what do you call it? Like each week I'll try to think like, okay, how do I want to do marketing on my page? How do I
Right.
want to what kind of videos do I want to make that will pretty much like, I don't know, promote my clothes. But also right now I am working on my senior collection.
Hmm.
So hopefully from the pieces I make in my senior collection, I can also use that for when I'm actually doing it full time.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So everything's kind of everywhere, but that's pretty much
Yeah.
kind of the plan for the next year. So I'm very excited.
No, that's so exciting. I think it's like cool to be in the weird in between space of being kind of like an influencer, but also like having a brand and being a fashion designer.
Yes.
Like, I find it so hard to separate myself or like have like, I don't know. I'm like somewhere in between where it's so hard for me to separate them.
I know, but that's awesome because not a lot of designers are like us.
Right.
You know
Like,
what I
it's
mean?
really cool, but it's like, even like with like my YouTube, I'm like, I post so much about my brand that it feels like it's a brand YouTube, but it's not meant to be. But it's like I
No,
post so much about it that it's like now it's everything's so mixed, but like
exactly.
it's
But
kind of cool though.
people like to see the behind the scenes, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's really
Yeah.
cool that you're doing that. And that's why I also plan on just taking people like
Yeah.
behind the scenes of my senior collection, how like I've already been filming some clips, but I
Mhm.
also want to take people along like how I designed my logo, how
Right.
I kind of came to be. So yeah, there's a lot like having that
Mhm.
social media presence, but also having that brand, it just goes hand in hand.
It really does. And it's really cool. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what I am. Like when people ask me, what do you do for a living? I'm like, what do I do for a living? Do I say fashion designer? Do I say content creator?
No, I say
Like,
both because
what do I do?
we literally do both. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's crazy.
And what I love too is that you don't it's not every day you get to peek into big like into designers' lives, you know what I
It's
mean?
true. Yeah.
Because especially with like big designers as well, like you don't really know much about the people behind the brand or anything.
Right.
And so it's nice to have that, kind of that your own personal Instagram or like more like content creation side because
Yeah.
people get to see that.
Yeah. No, I think it's super fun. So I'm very excited for you to start your
Oh,
journey in that.
I know it's gonna be different from what it is now, but I'm very
Yeah.
excited
No,
too.
but it'll be exciting. I think it's good that you already have like such a strong like social media base for it, like before you're starting.
That was the plan, honestly.
Yeah.
When I got on TikTok, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
But
I
you're
just
doing it.
I know this app was probably gonna take off. It was like what, March 2020?
That's when I started mine too.
It was like March 2020, and like
Yeah.
I was like, huh. I posted like maybe two videos in 2019. They were just like random, like edited on the app, sewing clips and whatnot. But I
Yep.
was like, I don't know where this is gonna go. But then that was when what March was when everyone
Yeah.
was going on
That's
the
when
app.
I hopped on too. I was one of those people I was like, I'm never gonna get a TikTok. That's awful. Like I made fun of all my friends who had it, but then like in March, I was like, dang, Maybe I should get a TikTok because everybody was talking about how it's like up and coming. It's so
Yeah,
easy to like go
exactly.
viral and all the things. And I was like, well, if I want to start a brand, I might as well hop on that. But
Exactly. And
yeah,
it,
it's
it and it has
crazy.
helped you with your brand, right? Like
It
you
yeah, it
have
really
gone
has.
viral with some stuff, right?
Yeah, I had one video go viral, but it was like 2 weeks after I launched. So it was like at the very beginning of my brand, which was so
Mhm.
random because I don't even think my
Oh,
products were good or anything that I was doing was good at that point. But for
uh-huh.
whatever reason, it went off. And that's when I got like a good majority of like the following. And then
That's
since then, I've not gone viral again, which is so sad. Well, okay, I've gotten like good amount of views on some videos, but
yeah.
I haven't gone to the million since then.
Oh, I've never
It's so
either.
hard. Ugh,
Oh, don't
kills
get me
me.
started on that algorithm. Like,
Right?
don't get me started on like, especially being like, you understand, like being in
Yeah.
social media, like numbers get to you.
They do. I check all my numbers all the time and I hate that I do it.
But that's the thing though, like that is also a part of what we do, and it
Exactly.
sucks because it's like, okay, this video did really well, but then the next week, how come my views are not going like over 5,000?
Right. It's so
Like
annoying.
it's
It
disgusting.
yeah, it's like anytime I have one video do well, like the next like 2 to 3 weeks, all of them flop.
And I don't know why. Maybe they
Right?
want us to work harder, but
Probably,
I
but like
work
I hate
hard.
that. It just makes me want to cry a little bit.
Well, what do you use to edit your videos?
I honestly edit majority of them on Final Cut
Oh, okay, okay.
just because that's what I use for YouTube. So like I just know it and it's easier or whatever. Um, but yeah, I get like so upset about it. I'll make like a really dumb video and it'll do super well for whatever reason. And
Yeah,
it's
but
like one of those that I'll film like right in the moment. I'm like, oh, I'll just post this, whatever. It'll do super well. And then I might have all these like really fun, edited, like cool transition, whatever, and they flop. And I'm like,
it's like
hello.
they don't care about that.
I
And
know,
it,
but
and
like,
it,
ugh,
it hurts because like you put so much time
right.
into like the
So
good
much.
videos. And
Yeah,
then when something like when you follow like a trend or something, all of a sudden
right.
that's the one that wants to pop off. So
Literally.
I don't know. It's more of like a you just gotta keep posting and then just see what happens pretty
I
much.
know. Ugh, it's so frustrating. I'm sure it's like frustrating for you doing like tutorials and stuff. Like those take so long. Like
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
even like to do those because I know how long they take.
That's why I'm very specific on which tutorials I choose because
Yeah,
like I remember I always get, oh, can you teach us pattern making? Can you teach us
right.
patterns? Can you teach us how to do this and that? And I'm like, like that those take a while.
Yes.
And also that's something I am still learning in the process. So I only teach
Right.
things that I know like are easy to teach and like people can
Exactly.
definitely like understand it a lot easier rather than like doing super complicated videos where like I don't know, like where I'm not 100% sure because I don't know, I'm only going to teach things that I know and
I
not teach things
know.
that like I'm still in the process.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Everybody asks me about pattern grading all the time. The amount of times I've like answered people and said it publicly, like, I am not going to teach this until I feel comfortable. That or like digital pattern making. I'm like, I'm barely learning. I'm not going to be teaching you this right now. Like, calm down. It's
It
so
takes like
complicated.
months
Yeah,
to understand it.
exactly. Like, we're still trying to figure it out, but it's so difficult.
No, seriously, I'll like link someone else. Like I linked you in my video. I was like, look, check out her, check out
Yeah, it's so funny.
like I'll link other people, but like I'm like, I'm still in the process. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's rough. Sometimes I like don't even want to do them because I feel like I'm doing it wrong. So,
Exactly. And people will judge you, right?
exactly. So I'm like, I don't want to get those comments. So I'm like, sometimes I just don't want to do it. But
Oh
at
my
some point, you're just gonna have to do it too. So,
and especially with just fashion and sewing in general, there's so many different
mhm.
methods. And
Exactly.
so I remember I posted this one video of how to like insert eyelets.
Mhm.
And then a ton of people got mad that I was using like what did I use? I was using like a hammer and
Mhm.
like the
Yeah,
eyelet.
that's what I've used.
No, people are like, you're not supposed to cut the fabric. You're not supposed to cut
What?
the hole. Yeah. They're
I
like,
always cut a hole and do it. That's how
I
I've made
always
my
cut this
products.
too. But then someone was like, oh, use an owl and like poke it and like put the eyelet in so you can move the fibers. And I was like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, what? Well,
No,
I've been
people
doing
were
it
getting
wrong too.
mad. People were getting mad in my comments. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, that's why I get so scared about it too, because some people are really in their ways, and I'm like, I can't deal with that kind of hate. I'm so sorry.
You get hate comments?
Sometimes I do, but I delete most of them. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I've come to this like realization that if I leave hate comments up, more people will add to it and like feel like they can do it because somebody else has already done it. But if you delete the first one, like the likelihood of somebody commenting is less because they don't want to be the first. So I'm like, if I just delete that first one, I get so many less. But if I leave it up, I get more. So I'm like,
that's
gotta
smart.
beat the system.
That's smart because sometimes I have the time that night and I will comment back.
I know it's so bad. I do that sometimes too, and it's
only if I have the time that night. But like, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I posted this thrift video, and it was just like me and my boyfriend were like going around our favorite spots, and then oh my god, don't get me started on the thrift community too. They are mean.
That is a whole thing.
They are mean. But I posted that and they were like, oh my gosh, like don't post this, blah blah blah. Like you guys are burning out our spots, this and that. Like someone was like, oh my gosh, I work here and I don't like having all these people here. You're making it worse. And
what the heck?
They were coming like there was like 10 I got in 1 hour.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, ew. Like it was not good for my mental health. I was like,
no, it's so bad. It kills me.
Late at night, I was commenting back at people and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove this video. It's just not worth it. It was just coming in. But I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are so mean sometimes.
Yeah, I like really stray away from thrifting sometimes, or like just like in social media, because people get so heated about it. Yeah, and it's so annoying. I'm like, I understand a lot of the viewpoints or whatever, but at the same time, there's so much excess of clothes that we're never gonna run out of them. And I don't understand why people get so like, oh my god, you're gonna like take all the clothes, like there's not gonna be anything left. I'm like, do you know how many like pounds of clothes get donated a day, get thrown out a day? Like you're not gonna run out of clothes.
That's what I try to tell people in them comments, but they're like, no. But because I feel like, I don't know, maybe here in LA it's such like a huge competition.
It really is. Yeah,
you have all these like flea markets and all these, you know, people sell and stuff, so I totally get like, I don't know, people want the good items, but like thrifting, it's not like, oh, you have to go on this specific day and then you'll find all these.
Exactly.
You have to go consistently, and you know, just because I posted a spot like doesn't mean like, I don't know, like everyone finds something different.
Exactly.
Depending on what day you go. So that's why I'm like, I don't really care what spots are out there or not, because it doesn't it doesn't really matter, you know?
It really doesn't. And like the experience just like varies for every single person, depending on like their style and like what they like and what's available that day. Cause like maybe they got really good donations one day and like the next day they don't, but like the following day they do. And it's like, you just never know.
Exactly. That's why I tell people like consistency is key if you want to find some really good pieces, because I go like maybe every other week with my boyfriend or so, because he also has like a little business on the side, so he kind of collects clothes and he resells, but he gives like good deals, not like oh, here's $300 for this, like he gives deals because he has been on the side, because he's worked at a secondhand shop on Melrose, so he knows how it is. Like people want them deals, and so it's crazy to have seen how much the thrift community has changed over the last few years.
Oh my gosh,
and it's amazing that people are thrifting now, but people need to be respectful and like kind to each other.
Yeah, my god, people are like gatekeeping thrifting or sometimes, and I'm like, calm down. Like this is a good thing for all of us. Like you need to calm down. Like,
and if you don't like thrifting, there's also secondhand apps. There's Depop.
Exactly. That's what I use all the time, because like I don't have anything in person that I like out here. So
which is your favorite? Well, which app do you like the most?
I feel like I go on, I think Poshmark more than Depop, because I feel like Depop sellers like really overcharge a lot. 100%. But I only go on Poshmark and like look up certain brands that I already like, or like specific items that I'm like trying to look for and stuff. And like that's the way I like to shop on there. But if I'm just like browsing, like ThredUp is super fun to browse through. There's so much stuff on ThredUp all the time. Yeah. Or I'll go on like the Real, but that's like, you know, a little pricier, but still very fun to go on. I have so many favorites. Will I ever buy them? Probably not. Very fun to go on though.
Oh my gosh. When I do the Real, I always sort low to high.
Me too. There's no way. Otherwise they give you like, oh, this is $2,000. What a steal. I'm like, hello?
Girl, I'm on a budget. There's no
Yeah.
way.
I'm like, can you give me the under 100?
Exactly. But I also agree with the Poshmark thing too. I feel like their sellers are more justified in their pricing. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what it is. Meanwhile, Depop, I'm like, oh my gosh, you thrifted this from the toddler section and you're gonna sell it for like
Literally.
all this. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw that. I don't know if you've seen that one TikTok account where they take a Depop listing and then they find it at the kids section.
Really? That's
I
so
don't know
funny.
I don't know who the account is, but they have multiple videos of like this
Yikes.
person finding all those items in the kids section at the thrift store. So it's very interesting. Very, very
Oof.
interesting.
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
that's rough. Let's talk about school.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I I feel like I go so back and forth with my whenever people ask me about FIT, I'm always like, yeah, it was great. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, it could have been better. I'm very back and forth about it. It was a good education, but it wasn't
Mhm.
great socially, I guess. So it's like, that back and forth, whatever. But like if I were to like want to work in the industry like for somebody else, like I'm sure I would be able to get a job like pretty quick with an FIT like background and like connections and all of that. But that's
Okay.
just not the route I decided to take. So it's like, was that really worth it for me?
I mean,
You know?
do you want to work for someone?
No. But I just
Exactly.
thought eventually I would want to.
Yeah,
So it's like, I feel like the only reason you should go to fashion school, like one of the big fashion schools, is if you want those connections. But like, if you're
exactly.
really not trying to do that, then like, it's not necessary.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I tell people all the time.
Right? Yeah. Cause like, you didn't go to like a like top fashion school, but like, you're doing better than probably a lot of people that went to fashion school.
That's the thing though, like,
So,
oh my gosh, this is a whole conversation that I plan
yeah.
on, like, putting out right after I'm done with school. But,
Yeah.
like, people always ask me, "Why did you decide to go this route instead of, like, going to fashion school?" Well, 1, I can't afford I can't
Yeah.
afford
It's
it
so expensive.
because, like, I got into Otis, and it's,
Hmm.
like, a fashion school over here in El Segundo,
Hmm.
and they were only offering me, like, 16,000.
Hmm.
But then again, I would have to cover the other, like, 35.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I got into that fashion school, or it's not even a fashion school, it's an art school. I got in there,
Mm.
I even toured and everything, but after they gave me, like, my offer letter, I was like, "Ooh, this is not it." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, um, right after I graduated high school, I thought I was gonna go straight into, my four-year university. I go to
Mhm.
Cal State Long Beach, but the thing is, a month later, they rescinded me because I think I got, like, a D in chemistry
Oof,
in high
not
school.
chemistry.
Yeah, and then I remember my counselor was telling me, "Oh, yeah, no, a D's passing," but I guess she wasn't clear that the D was passing just to graduate, but not
Mm.
to go to a university, so I was like, "What?"
Dang.
I was like, "Wow, okay, great." So I remember I was working at do you know what Plato's Closet is?
Yeah.
Yes, I was working at Plato's Closet at the time, and then I got a call like, "Oh, this is admissions. We need to speak to you about something, blah, blah, blah." I was like in my head, I was like, "Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be funny if, like, they rescinded me?" And that's exactly what happened.
I'm dead.
I was so pissed. Oh my gosh, because my friend picked me up and I was just crying in the car. I was like, "Oh my gosh." Because I was 18 at the time. I was like, "Oh my god,
Dang.
I feel like my life is over." Give me
Yeah.
I I don't know, I think that was, like, my first wake-up call that, life is not gonna go the way it's planned, and I am finally an adult, and I gotta
Yep.
do adult things and deal with all that. So that was my wake-up call. So, immediately, I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do next?" And the thing I didn't like about my high school is that they didn't push community colleges as much,
Yeah, I feel like
which
mine didn't either at
sucks.
all.
Like, they were more like, "Okay, go to a university, go to
Mhm.
a UC, go somewhere else besides a community college," but
Right.
so I had to figure out that whole community college route on my own in a
Mhm.
way, and so I like, within 2 weeks, because school was about to start kinda quickly.
Right.
So, I just found a local community college in Long Beach, and then I ended up going there for about 2.5 years, I would say. And then I transferred to Cal State Long Beach for their fashion design program of fall 2019. And that was fun for a semester and a half. And so the last, what do you call it? I mean, now we're back in person, but
Right.
I forgot how many, I went through 2 semesters.
Yeah. Like
a whole
full
year.
online. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was very interesting, learning how to do like pattern making all over again.
Literally how?
Tailoring. It was terrible.
Yeah, I
Terrible.
bet.
Like everything was just like YouTube tutorials, but it's
Mm,
like I'm paying all this money for
exactly.
a YouTube tutorial.
Literally.
There were many times where my work was not the best because I was like, you just lose motivation
Yeah.
because things are just not in person. And like, I don't know, I got through the year and now I'm just happy we're back in person. But I've definitely like choosing this route, I've learned a lot. I've been able to save money.
Yeah.
I've been able to get plenty of scholarships that has helped me a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I failed a semester in community college when I met my boyfriend. but
nobody needs to know.
Exactly. But you know, that's part of the process. That's part of the process. And I'm happy it's almost done.
Yes, thank God.
I know, thank God, for real. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my college experience. But I mean, I think I was like kind of bitter at I was bitter some years where I was like, I wish I was at I wish I was at a fashion school because it's definitely not as intensive
Right.
as being at a fashion school. Like there are a lot of pros and cons.
Yeah.
And what I do really like being at a university is I would say maybe the smaller class sizes. Like I
Right.
feel like it's more of a one-on-one connection with the professors. I pretty much see the same classmates every
Right.
day. It's nice. Also, like what do you call it? I feel like a lot of it being at a university though, you have to be able to want to be a self-starter outside of school.
Yeah.
If that
For
makes
sure.
sense. Because like I feel like my school, the program, they're amazing. They're like probably one of the best around here.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do give you the tools, but it's up
Right.
to you like how you want to implement those.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like people ask me how do I do it? Like especially just going to university, but it's like
Right.
I do a lot of work outside of it. You know,
Exactly.
like they're not just gonna give you tools like, and okay, you're going to be a fashion designer right after you graduate. But
Right.
it's like there's so much work that I've prepped like behind, you know, just not being in school. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
recommend to everyone who wants to go to that route as well. Like you
Yeah.
really have to work for it too,
You really do.
especially since you're not at a fashion school, getting that intensive, like, I don't know, because you know how like fashion schools, they
Yeah.
get to work on like, I don't know, thesis and
Yeah, it's a lot.
all that
So many
stuff.
things at once.
We don't have that. I wish like I had something like that so I can like, I don't know.
Oh no. It's a little stressful, but
Sometimes I'm like, I wish I had a little more stress, but I mean, you know, this is cool. I'm like
yeah.
cruising. It's fine. It's fine. But I love the route I took out, and I, you know, I've come to realize like I don't regret it. Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I always like tell people the same thing. I feel like it doesn't sound as like legit coming from me because I did go to FIT, but it's like it's the reason why I only did 2 years instead of 4. It's like I just feel like at some point it just is in your hands to actually do something with it. Like it's not like the school giving you all this. It's like what you're doing with it that actually counts. So I'm like, yeah, I could have done a bachelor's, could have like, you know, still been in school right now, but it's like probably learning the same amount just on my own right now
Exactly.
that I
Like,
would if I would like paying thousands of dollars to continue my education. But like that's not like saying I regret my education. I loved everything and it was great. But I do think that so much of fashion is just like what you do with it and like your personal commitment to it, not just like your schooling.
Exactly. And I feel I don't especially I think especially nowadays people are starting to get super into fashion and they're like, okay, I want to go to fashion school. Or
Right.
this and that. But then I feel like a lot of people don't realize, okay, well, if you want to be a designer, you also have to learn how to sew. You also have to do
Exactly.
patterns. You also have to learn how to market yourself, how to brand yourself, how to do this, this, and this. People think it's easy,
Oh, it's so
but
not.
it's not. And I feel like being like in that environment, like it really weeds out, the
It
people
really does.
the people who do it just because they saw like an aesthetic video on TikTok versus someone who actually, I know T, right?
Yeah.
Versus someone who actually wants to be a part of the industry, wants to change it in some way, you know? So
Exactly.
I don't know. And if I had a choice to redo all of this, I would also definitely do just 2 years at
Right.
like a fashion school or a community college because it's just as good as getting a
Exactly.
bachelor's, honestly.
Yeah, because I feel like you just need like the bare minimum education, and then with that you can kind of just like learn the rest on your own. But like if somebody teaches you the basics of like sewing and pattern making, draping, all the things, then you can kind of just like run with it after that.
Exactly. And also connections. Just
Yeah.
connections are key. Just being on social media, that's free connections
Yeah.
out there. So
Literally.
that's why, 2 years is good, y'all.
It really is. Like I really do like, root for that. Whenever people ask me, I'm like, it was a good decision. I'm not gonna tell you it wasn't.
Oh no. Sometimes I wish, but it's fine. It's
It's
fine.
okay. It's fine. 6 years is great too.
Just not looking forward to paying off the student loans, but
Oof.
it's all good.
It's fine. The brand will take off and you're gonna
Yeah,
be successful and it's gonna be great.
exactly. That's what I'm hoping for. So
Yeah.
we will see what unravels.
It'll
For
it'll
sure.
happen. Sooner or later it will happen.
Oh, I'm praying. I'm praying.
I'm right there with you. Like, absolutely. I think it'll go well, honestly. I could feel like even just thinking how much time you have from now until you actually graduate, there's so much time for so much growth. Just like
Exactly.
social media growth and like growing the audience and customer base and everything, that it's like honestly you could like pop off right away with it.
So I'm trying to take it slow, but also trying to
Yeah.
light a fire, but
Yeah.
I, I don't know. For you, how long did it take? Like, did you was it
Mm.
slow growth? Was it fast growth? What would you say?
It was like kind of in waves. It was like really fast at the beginning for like a good month or so. And then I had like a really, I don't want to say like a low point, but like a very like, down point in like October-ish of that. So I started in June and it was like doing well in the summer because I feel like summer is just easier to do well in.
Mhm.
So it was doing
Yeah.
super well. And then as soon as like late September, like October hit, it like just plummeted. Like my sales plummeted. I don't know if it was just like what I was putting out or like I don't know, my content wasn't doing great, nothing was doing good. I was like, oh my god, I'm literally like I'm done. Like I can't, like I literally was like so like I don't know what to do with myself because I was so used to like that constant growth and like all the things, and then it just like went down all of a sudden. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like how am I supposed to continue? But then it went back up in like November because it's like the holiday season,
Yeah.
so it always goes up in that point too. And I feel like it's just been kind of like an up and down. Like this past summer, honestly, wasn't that much of a growth for me either. Like I was kind of like not plummeting, but I was just like very stagnant this summer. I feel like
Mhm.
I'm just now starting to like kind of come back up a little bit.
Okay.
So it's just been in waves. Like I don't know what it is, but it just goes like
Yeah.
sometimes it'll just be great and sometimes it just like decides to stay still, and then out of nowhere it's like let's just skyrocket again. So
I mean, like we were talking about earlier, like everything is just such a hit or
it
miss.
really is, and
You know
it
what I mean?
sucks.
Oh, because we wish we can just, be on a straight path, just
Exactly.
on growing. But I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure you've learned a lot from like, okay, maybe this month didn't do well, maybe we gotta switch it up next year. Like
exactly.
something different. But
Yeah.
no, it looks like you're growing. Like everyone loves you.
Oh, thank you. But like I feel like that's also a thing though. Like on social media, it's so easy for it to seem like everything's always going great. And like I follow obviously so many small businesses too, and it always seems like everybody's getting so many orders and like selling out on their launches and doing all these things. And I'm like, I was there at certain points too, but that doesn't happen to me always. So then I get so down on myself. It's like my last launch like sold out, and then like my next one doesn't. I'm like, I'm a failure. But I'm like, I'm not, but like it makes me feel like that.
You know why? Because we're like, as designers and business owners and content
Right.
creators, we're all like, what do you call it? We're our worst critic.
We really are.
You
Yeah,
know
my
what I mean?
God. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, I get so down on myself just because a post doesn't do well, you know?
Literally
Like,
same.
I'll be complaining to my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh, did I post at the wrong time? And he's like,
Yep.
okay, just try again next time. But I'm like, no, this needed to do well.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just hard because we always get in our heads.
Yeah,
And
I'm
like,
I'm super in my head about it.
I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Even to this day, I'm still trying to figure out how I can, maneuver around that. And it's kind of a little better. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, some days are easier than others, you know?
Very true. Like if I'm already in like not a great mood that day or like something's going on, if I see one bad thing going on social media, I'm like, oh, this is over. My mood's like killed for the rest of the week. Like it's so
Exactly.
bad for my mental health sometimes. And I wish I could get away from it. But then I'm like, oh wait, I make a living off of this. I can't just log
That's
off.
why. Don't you
I'm
just wish
like,
you can
oh,
just don't you just wish you can just deactivate everything sometimes?
sometimes I literally just want to delete everything, but I'm like, I can't make money if I do that. So
Exactly.
dang.
I remember there
Uh,
was a point last year where I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna deactivate. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
yep.
do it for 2 weeks. I'm gonna do it for 2 weeks." And then my boyfriend's like, "You're not gonna do it. I know you're not gonna do it." But I didn't, and I'm happy I didn't because after like a month or two, like I started getting like more opportunities and I was like, "Okay,
Right.
maybe it's good I didn't," but that feeling, it's just different. I feel like
Yeah.
you won't understand until like you're actually working in this field, I would say.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
it's just
it's very specific.
it's a specific feeling you can't really describe.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
people are like, "Okay, I wanna delete social media," but to us, it's like, "I really wanna do it," but, like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, it's fighting. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's such a love-hate relationship because obviously I do love social media and everything that's like come from it and like I love like posting and interacting with people and meeting people, all the things, but then also it's just so draining.
So it and that's what sucks. It's like no matter how much you plan your post, no matter how much you
Mhm.
do this and this, like, it's still kinda draining, but
Yeah,
I love to do it, but also it's draining at the same
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, especially you're running a brand account, a personal account,
And
like
now a podcast account.
yeah, so what brought you to
Oh.
this? What brought you to do this?
Honestly, I've been thinking about it for a long time because I just like could talk to myself for hours on end. Like whenever I film YouTube videos, I literally have to cut out like hours of me just talking to the camera because I talk way too much. But I like personally love podcasts, so I was like, oh, this would be fun. And then I actually was reached out to by like a podcast network over the summer, and they were like, hey,
Nice.
like we would love to host like your podcast if you ever wanted to like do one. And I was like, well, this must be a sign because I'd already been thinking about it. But then I was like, there's so much to figure out on the back end of things. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. But like,
Exactly.
they do all my back end. So I just have to, record and have fun with it. I'm like, you know what? Good. I'm good with that. That sounds fun.
That's perfect, and it kinda like,
Yeah,
you still get to focus on other things too.
exactly. So it's nice. And then I just get to like talk to people, which is super fun too. I feel like there's so many like cool people out there and people I don't know. I feel like a lot of my followers think I'm like the only person in the world that does what I do. And I'm like, there's so many people that do what I do. Like I promise you I'm not that special. Like I
No,
will
you
show
are
you.
special.
Like yes, but it's like I promise you I'm not the only one doing a million things. Like I'm not like super special in that aspect of things. So I feel like it's just cool to like showcase different people and different like perspectives of things. So it's not just like super one-sided every time whenever I'm talking. I don't
No,
know.
but I love that you're giving your platform to other creators, you know?
Yeah, I
That's
just,
awesome.
you got to do good with what you have. I feel like I
Yes.
don't feel like I know enough to have such a platform sometimes. I'm like I feel like there's other people that know much more than I do. I don't
No,
have all the information. So I'm like I'm
that's how I am too. Like we were talking
yeah,
about earlier about the tutorials and stuff, I was like, "Oh my
exactly.
gosh, am I doing this right?" But also it's like,
Right.
I guess they follow us for a reason, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta remember that, and it's like, "Ah, okay, just gotta post what I wanna post," you know?
Yep. Yep. It's hard to get over that mindset though. Sometimes I'm like so young. I'm sure I'm gonna look back on this in a year and think that's awful and like
Oh,
all
exactly.
those things, but you gotta do it eventually anyway. So
I don't know, but our growth has been amazing just to witness.
yeah, it's crazy. Literally. What are you at on TikTok?
Oh, honestly, I haven't been super consistent. Maybe like 108K
That's crazy.
or something like that. Uh, yeah, I mean, I remember I saw let me see. What is it really at? It's been a while. Um, yeah, 108.7. And
Dang.
like it took me a while. It took me a while to get there.
Yeah,
I remember I was looking I again with the numbers thing. I
I
remember
know.
other creators who came after me and they'll reach 100K before me, and I was like, dang.
Don't even get me started on that.
What am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, no, come on. But I mean, when I finally reached it, I think I was in Vegas with my boyfriend, and I was like, let's celebrate.
That's so fun.
I don't know. I think we were already going to dinner that night, so we just went out to dinner and like,
oh, even better.
had a drink or whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, that was cool. Like to finally hit that milestone, you know?
yeah.
And then what about you?
Crazy.
Where are you at?
I only have like 65,000. I've not hit 100 on anything yet. So I'm
Oh my
like
God.
waiting for the day.
Coming. It's coming.
I know. It's probably going to come on my YouTube before anything else, which I hope so, because I've been on there for like freaking 8 years. You would think I'd have more by now.
No,
but
that's the thing though. Like, it's the process of getting there.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like YouTube, a lot of people love long form content still. Like,
yeah.
That's
like,
why
I love that. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I still keep my YouTube channel up, because I have some decent long form content on there that I really want to get back into. It's just
a lot of work.
I don't know how to fit that in.
Yeah. No, there's no way you can fit that in right now.
Just editing a YouTube video. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I feel like I have a system now to where it's like so much quicker, but it took me so long to like be able to make it a shorter process, because it does take so long to freaking edit.
How long does it take you to edit? Like just one of your regular like vlog video?
I feel like vlogs take me like a few hours, just because there's so much like content, because I film so much, and like half of it gets like cut off, obviously, because I literally talk way too much. So it's like at least 3 hours of like footage every time that I have a vlog, and then I have to condense that to like 20 minutes or like 30 at most sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cutting down.
Yeah, but people want to see that though. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like, I feel like people just, I don't know, like I do have this social media presence, but I feel like a lot of people don't really know me. Like they know me, but they don't know me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll get questions in my DMs. They're like, I don't know if you talked about this yet. And then it'll be like a question about college or how I got started. And I was like, huh, you're right. I've never done a video like that. Like, I don't know. I think I want to go back on YouTube just so people can see the behind the scenes of me, you know? So that's why it's nice to do like podcasts or interviews and all that. Cause you know, if people want to know more about me, they can just watch it. But I also want to do that on my own. So like, it's nice. It's nice to have that balance.
You definitely should. I think it's super fun. Although regardless of if you put that information out there, people will still ask you, where did you go to school? I'm like, you can scroll back on my Instagram and look at my graduation post if you really want to, or check out the millions of vlogs I have about FIT. The amount of people that still ask me like super basic questions like that, I'm like, did you even try looking? Did you even try?
You know, they just want to talk. They just want to try to talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've gotten so bad about not responding to DMs anymore. I used to be so good about responding to like pretty much everybody, even if it was like a, hey, can you help me with this? I'd still be like, oh no, like sorry, like blah blah, or whatever. Like I'd be super nice about everything, even if it was like declining it. But now I'm literally just do not answer anybody.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I love responding to people. I love being able to talk to people, but it's like, oh my gosh, my requested DMs is like,
girl.
I like just like I need a day. I need maybe a couple hours to just respond to these. And like I always try to get back to my comments as well, but sometimes I forget. Or sometimes it's like it's gonna take time to like
it is
sort through all these comments, you know. But you know, I love being able to have that connection with people. But at the same time, it's like you need to set aside a day for that.
Literally. And sometimes it's just like people want way too much information out of you, and I'm like, I cannot give you that much of my time. Like I'm so sorry, but I do not have the time to explain like this many things to you. Like here's my YouTube channel, please find it.
That's when I try to link people to other
I'm like, here's a resource, but like I can't give you that. Yeah, it's rough. And it's bad because like people will DM me on like my brand Instagram or whatever, and if I don't answer, then it'll go to my personal. So both of them have the same amount of DM requests like all the time.
Oh my god.
I don't answer to like basically anything anymore because it just is so draining nowadays. I'm like, I can't keep up with that mentally.
You got to take time for yourself. So I totally understand. Like it's like, oh, man, I don't know. Social media is
Yep.
just that thing.
I know, it's hard, but it's fine. It's fine. It's good. And I do actually DM people back sometimes, depending.
Yeah. No, me too.
But, it's rough. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with.
Don't
But
take us wrong, guys. Like, we
yeah,
love
I know.
talking.
I'm like, I promise I
We
see
love
it.
talking.
I love you, but I just can't do that because I have like at least probably 100 more waiting for me too.
Disclaimer.
So
Disclaimer.
yeah, disclaimer.
Or they'll even hit your email. They'll hit your email.
Oh my God. The amount of emails. It's so bad. I've also gotten so bad at not responding to certain emails. Like even like collaboration emails of brands that I would obviously never collaborate with. I'm just like,
Of
I don't
course.
even answer. And
Of
then they'll be like, just following up if you got that email. And they'll do that like 10 times. I'm like, clearly I don't want to follow up.
Oh my gosh. I get those all the time. Like random brands will contact me like
Mhm.
like what's one that I got? Like one for like vegan juice.
I've gotten so many of those random like health juice,
And
weird protein things or
I'm like,
whatever.
wait, do you even research my social media?
Literally.
Like, that is not what I do.
Literally.
Or like, I got one once for like a weed company.
Oh my God, me too. And I was like, I live in Indiana. It's not legal.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, this is not my brand though.
No,
Like,
it's not me.
no way.
No. Oh my
Yeah, so
God.
it's very interesting. These companies just really be sending out emails to anybody.
Yeah, they really do. And they're like, this matches your content so well. I'm like, what content did you see?
Because I haven't been
Literally.
posting all that. You're looking at someone else.
Exactly.
I love this conversation we're having.
Yeah, this is funny.
It's nice to have someone who understands,
Exactly. Yeah. It's so nice. Which is also why I like having this podcast, because I just talk to people who get it all the time.
How many episodes do you have out already?
I have one out right now, but I've pre-filmed 5 or 6.
Ooh.
So I have a lot that like are already edited and like ready, but they're obviously going to come out like once a week. So it's like I have them all up until like November. Like this is probably going to come out in November.
Oh, wow.
So, it's going to be a long way. Yeah, I know. But it's super fun though. I'm like, I have so many like fun little guests and there's so many people I like want to reach out to, but I'm like, I can't schedule that many just yet. So I need to wait.
No.
But yeah.
Space them out, girl. Space them out. Because you were just as great in person too. Like, I hope people know that. Like what you guys see, she's just like this in person too.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you, honestly. It was so nice to like meet in person and it just be like so natural and normal and fun and like whatever. So
like,
good.
I love meeting people who are just as genuine as they are.
Yes.
On social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of the times, like, my friend works with a lot of influencers for company, and like she meets a lot of them, and she's like, some of them just do not match their energy.
Yikes. I would hate that.
It's a very interesting community that we're a part of.
Yeah. Somehow ended up here. Yes. I guess we can like wrap up. I've been really bad about making these episodes super long sometimes with certain people, and I'm like, I need to shut up at some point.
No, I feel like we've covered a lot of bases now.
We have. I'll probably, have you on again eventually, just for funsies. Once you start that brand, we will have you back on. You know that.
All right, give me another year and I got you.
Well, I'll keep in touch. We will make that happen.
Oh no, and like, if you're in LA again,
which I hopefully will be soon. I also really want to move out there by next year, so we'll see if that happens.
Okay, well, when you're here and when that happens, we have to hang out again.
Absolutely.
And me and my friend Eden, we were talking about you, so we definitely
oh my gosh.
that
would be so fun.
Yeah. No, we all need to like have dinner, drinks, whatever. Like we gotta do that too. So
yeah.
You're
a friend. I will gladly go. Thank you. Right back at you. So fun. Do you want to like shout yourself out on all your platforms and things so people can, follow and all?
Yeah, doing a little YouTuber vibe. Yeah, you guys can follow me pretty much anywhere. I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram, I also have a YouTube, and it's all at Ysabel Hilado. And my name is spelled with a Y. So
yes.
Yes, keep that in mind. So yeah, Ysabel Hilado on everything. And yeah, if you want to continue following my journey, seeing the content I put out, if you want some outfit inspiration, if
Yes.
you know how to sew, follow me. I got all the content, and yeah, I'm excited to have you follow me if you're interested. So yeah.
Yes, as you should. I'm excited. You're like such a fun person to follow. Like everything is just so like fun and like I feel like
Oh,
you're a very like thought out person with your posts and like feed and
yes.
like colors and all the things. So it's like very fun to follow you.
It's not as aesthetically pleasing as I'd like it to be, but I've learned that you just got to post what you want to post.
Exactly. No, I get that. I've gotten to that point too. But it's good. It's fun. It works.
It shows how, we're genuine people, we're trying.
Exactly. Doing your bestest. That's all that matters. Um
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank
Hope you
you guys.
enjoyed. Subscribe for more, rate, review, do all the things. I always forget what you have to say for podcasts because it's not the same as like comment,
Oh,
subscribe, like all the things. It's like rate and review. I'm like, oh, okay, that's different. Anyway, do all the things. And see you in the next one. Peace out.
bye. Bye, guys.